today we want to debunk purpose and money. Your purpose in life is not about making money.
It would be like saying your purpose in life is to eat food. You know what I mean? Like, it might be part of a necessity in our society to survive, but it's not your purpose.
But why is it not about the money?
It's not about the money because money is, like we keep talking about it, money is the energy. So you're not supposed to be chasing energy, right? That energy needs to be used to fuel something, right? So if you put gasoline in your car, you put electricity into your TV or whatever, like that energy is meant to serve a purpose. So money itself cannot be a purpose.
But then what if money can get to your purpose?
It can, but just like gasoline can help get your car from point A to point B, but if you don't know where you're going, what's the point of filling up gas in your car if you're driving in the wrong direction?
But without money, you can't even get anywhere. Then you can't get to your purpose.
People think the only way to get somewhere is with money. It's like, well, okay, that's like saying the only way to get to your destination is with a car. Could you take a boat? Could you walk? Could you get a bicycle?
Not without money.
Right?
And they keep arguing that no, money is the solution. Well, yeah, if you have no money, you can't achieve anything.
You know what I think it is? It's the black and white thinking that they have when. So what are they saying when they say that? But you need the money. Okay, we're not saying you don't need money, but money is not the goal, right? Money is a means. Just like, you know, you need food to live, but are you living to eat or are you eating to live?
Some people are.
Right? And it's, I guess, but...
That'd be a sad purpose of life, yes, but...
But that's just like, in that sense, it's gluttony, right? That just this overconsumption of something, thinking that that's your purpose, but, you know, it's like, but you need money to do this. Yes, I never said you didn't, but that doesn't mean that money is your purpose, and it's not all about the money. That's the whole point. We're trying to say you got to think past it's already assumed that in this society we need money to acquire things, but how much money is enough? That maybe should be the follow-up question. Okay, so you need money. How much? If you don't have a hard answer for that, then you're not clear on what you actually need, right? So for instance, let's say I am like, okay, I need a car. Why do I need a car? Because my job requires me to drive and teach paint nights all over the city. So I look at the cars available and I decide, okay, I like this category of car. This is affordable for me. And I budgeted myself $3,000 to buy this used car, right? So to me, that amount of money, I need $3,000. I don't need to be chasing hundreds of thousands. I just need to make enough money to get what I need to do what I need to do.
And there are people out there who be like, well, if you have more money, you could get by yourself a better car.
Sure. But here's what I also want to say is, going back to me being kind of a peasant, when I drive that used car for $3,000, if I make more money, I can use that money to fuel the other things I want to do. But if I so instead of buying a $3,000 car, let's say I buy a $30,000 car, actually what that's doing to me now is it's taking me away from my dreams, right? Because now I'm paying 10 times as much for the same utility of driving from my house and going to the different locations so that I can earn money. So then it ends up being people are earning money to pay for the things that they want. And it becomes this cycle of just constantly just paying off their debts. Mm-hmm. And I think to me it's wiser to not be in debt. And sure, if you can make more money, that's great. But that doesn't mean you just spend it on things like that are more fancy when you don't necessarily need it. Right? And then once again, people will probably take this to the point of, oh, well, we're just supposed to be so frugal and we'll just have nothing. And I'm just like, let's get back to what actually makes you content. You know, it's almost like people have this fear of missing out, and then they're just saying, well, you're taking this away from, oh, I can't buy my fancy Mercedes. And I was like, you can buy it if you want, but is that really moving you closer towards your dreams? You know, and I just think that it's all about status for people. Like, really, what is it about the Mercedes you want?
Because they think it's the best thing for them, right? I remember, you know, a lot of people come in my work and they're like, I want the best vitamin C. But what they don't realize is it's not about what's best, it's what's more suitable for you. And at the end of the day, what do you want that vitamin C to do for you?
Yeah.
You know, did you want it to just like relieve some constipation? Do you want to like boost your immune system? Did you want it to stay in your body longer than like it's? I love it when they just ask like, I want the best one. And so what they see is, well, maybe the Mercedes is the best car.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't ever look at, well, what's the difference between a Mercedes and like a high-end item?
Yeah.
If they both, it's just gonna get you to where you're gonna go.
Yeah.
Right? But I guess when you buy a Mercedes, you get more like approval from other people than you would buy a Hyundai.
Mm-hmm.
Like more people would be like, oh my god, you bought a Mercedes, congratulations. But if you buy a Hyundai, it's like, okay, great, you got the car.
Yeah. And I'm more about trying to be efficient. So here's another, like, I guess, analogy we could use. Let's say you have a business and you want the best employee.
Mm-hmm.
But what if that best employee charges way too much?
Mm-hmm.
And you can find somebody else who will do the same job, the same function, but will do it for less. You know what I mean? Like, does it make sense for you to spend more because it's the best?
I think it comes from fear of not good enough, fear of not enough.
Yeah.
Right? It's not the best, and it's not good enough.
Yeah, and I think maybe that's what we need to learn more is like, what is good enough? You know, do you have to have the best sponge to wash your dishes? Should you go
Yes.
and buy a $10,000 sponge that came from, I don't know, some
Europe.
from some ocean, like underwater sea urchins or something? You know what I mean? Like something so exotic, and maybe it is the best. But is it appropriate for? Should I have everything of mine gold plated because it's the best?
Yes. Maybe that's something that some people want that and have that as their purpose.
Yeah.
Right? They want the best of everything.
Yeah.
If it's not the best, I don't want it.
And then I just feel like people aren't being realistic because we also just have to be in tune with reality. Like, what do we have available? You know, you're in the forest and you have to make a cabin because maybe you're stuck out there for whatever reason. Are you going to sit there and complain, well, I don't have the best wood, I need, you know, this oak, but all I have is like these cedars or pine or whatever? It's like, well, make do with what you got. I don't understand why that's not good enough. And then you realize how much you can accomplish with less, and then you're like, why did I even think I needed the best? So for instance, like, we're recording this on like one of my older phones that I'm not using right now, but it's functioning perfectly well as a camera. You got your mic there, and okay, the setup is not like the most expensive or fancy, it's not the best, but what's important right now? The content we're putting out, like the information, the wisdom we're trying to share our ideas.
And then you have people who come and be like, make the comment, be like, oh, you could have done this better.
Yeah, the sound quality, like, it's not the greatest, or, you know, you need better lighting, and it's like, do you understand the reason we're putting out this video?
Yeah.
Like, sure, the video qualities will get better over time as we, like, decide to, like, improve the production and we learn from looking back at older videos, but it doesn't make what we're doing right now any less important, you know? And I think that's where people need to start
Changing their
mindset, like seeing the value in things for what they are in the moment, instead of, oh, well, it could be better if you did this, and just always focused on what's, best, even though what's good enough is what's good enough. And I try to, when I was teaching paint nights, I try to tell people that, like, don't expect to have a masterpiece on your first painting. Just, can you be content with what you've accomplished here in this moment? Your painting doesn't have to be the best right now. It's a process. And yeah, just getting back to, like, the importance of, like, what it is you're trying to accomplish instead of focusing on how good you look along the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, imagine trying to, like, go on a massive hike because you want to reach the top of that mountain, but all you're concerned about is those high heels and wearing that nice dress. Meanwhile, those things are holding you back from the hike.
Yeah.
You might have the best stuff, but is it the best for what you're doing right now?
Yeah. I think it's going back to that contentment, right? Content with what you have instead of thinking of what you could have. Like, looking at living in the now. Like, doing the best with the resources you have, like, resources including your energy, your time, your people, everything. And I think less and less people value that. And I think I'm grateful in a way of coming from a family that doesn't have too much, is you always just have to figure out what to do with everything now instead of having to wish for, I wish I had more of that so then I could get that kind of thing. Just like you and your Nathaniel's, like, I would just make a burger out of, like, regular bread, even though you wish you have hamburger bread, but that's not available, so you would just be content with regular bread kind of thing.
Exactly.
So how do we get out of this money mindset? Be content. Be okay, like, really look at what the purpose of things is.
Yeah.
Is that simple?
I think it's that simple. I think, you know what it is? We doubt ourselves when things are that simple, but really, life is sometimes just that simple.
Because it's just, we've been put down, or I've been put down with so many things, and, like, people are like, no, you need the money for that. Grind and then do it. And then I'm like, no, that's not the way, and I can't explain why not. But then I guess because my explanation is so simple, people are not taking it. It's not that I can't explain it. It's just that people are not taking how simple.
People don't accept when things are simple. It's almost odd. They're just like, no, it can't be that simple. Like, says who? Why does everything have to be so complicated? In fact, I think money just complicates things. Just get to the true essence of what are you trying to accomplish, and how can you do it most efficiently. So if money is energy, and you're wasting a bunch of money on things, you're wasting your energy. When that energy could be going to other things. So be content. Know your purpose. Like, know the direction you're trying to go. I feel like there's a third thing. I feel like there's always a third thing.
There's always a third thing. I think it's just like, don't see money as the solution to all. And it's not.
Yeah, like, money is not the end. Money is the means.
Yes.
Money is the thing that will help you get to where you want to go, but it's not the thing you need to be chasing. I feel like everyone's always, here's how to make more money, and here's a side hustle you can do. Did you know it's so easy? You can just sell real estate, or
the newest thing
buy
is
Amazon stuff, like e-commerce.
Play games and you get money.
Yeah, like, everyone's looking for this quick, cheap, easy way to make money. Meanwhile, you're effectively talking about wasting time. We're talking about doing nothing.
Yeah.
Which I think is a more effective use of your time than playing these games to make a little bit of money. And then what do you do with that money? What does that money buy you in the end?
Exactly.
So I'd rather slow down and just kind of sit back and be like, okay, well, what would be the next best use of my energy? People are so quick to spend their money, or I got to invest it, it has to grow. It's like, can you just be patient for a moment and maybe ask yourself, what do you want this money to fuel? What do you want what is your purpose in life? How is this money or how is this energy going to be best used to serve your higher purpose? That thing that you truly want out of life. And to me, it's about, maybe it's problem solving. I don't know if that's like a third thing, but getting creative. Because money may not necessarily get what you want, or something else other than money could get you what you want.
Exactly.
So maybe you're like, I wish I had this piece of land. Maybe somebody you know has spare land that they're willing to have an event space for you. Well, that didn't require money at all. That just required relationships, you know? Or, I don't know, just like, you know, here, instead of, maybe I'm thinking, oh, I need to buy all this fancy camera equipment. Meanwhile, wait, I have a phone. You have a microphone. We put the things together.
Yeah.
We're done. We're making do with what we got. You know, we're in this cabin. There's no electricity here. So we're trying to use minimal electricity. Like, we're finding ways around money. And to me, that makes us actually...
like you said, be creative, right? Like, there's another way. Oh, how can you record without, like, electricity? Well, we just do whatever we can. You know what I mean? And I think that creative side of things where people think outside of the box is so rare these days. Because they're so used to, like, oh, just use money and do this. Use money and buy this. Just keep buying and buying. It's fine. No, you don't need to.
So I guess what's a question we could ask the audience?
Why do you think money is the solution? Or how has been the solution for you? Or how has it not been the solution for you?
Can you prove to us that money is the solution? Or do you have an example of where you thought money was the solution and it just made things worse? I don't know.
Is it because that we're making sufficient money and that's why we can say it? But those who are in poverty, of course they're gonna see money as the solution, right? Because, like, where their next meal is, it's all about the money they make. Whether or not they can afford to heal their own body, it's about the money they make, because that's how society has conditioned us to do.
Yeah. But if they don't get creative, you know, they're going to be stuck in that mindset thinking money's going to get them out of their situation. And not to say money won't, because I've been there. I've been through bankruptcy and have had to struggle to find work. But it's getting back to knowing who I am and what my purpose is. And I'm not going to let that deter me from, if I have to get a minimum wage job at McDonald's, which I did, which, like, my first job ever was McDonald's at 16. And I did that for like 4 years or something. And then, you know, since then I got into more professional work, you know, doing animation type stuff. And then I lost my job. And then I ended up going back to McDonald's, which most people would have been like, no way. This is crazy. This is below me. And I'm like, no, there's nothing below me. Work is work, right? I'm putting in the energy, and then somebody's rewarding me with some money. And then it's about how I spend that money. Right? If I'm going to keep spending it like I have an infinite amount, then I'm not really being smart with my energy. So, you know, for poor people, I find, at least in like the more Western cultures, sometimes it's not even a matter of the fact that you don't make enough money. It's a matter of fact that you're not spending it wisely. You're not being content with less. Which might be a hard thing for a lot of people to, like, swallow. But all I can say is, in my experience, because I've learned to live with less, now that I've gotten back to a point where I was getting animation work again and making good money, I kept that nice baseline. So everything above that made me feel rich. And now I have, my dreams are being more believable, because I'm like, wow, now I actually have money I can invest towards a dream, whereas before I was just struggling to pay bills. So, but anyways, that's a whole other series where I get more into financial health and getting us to that point. So, as much as, like, you know, I'll be coaching people on how to manage money, it's not about the money, but money is a component of our survival right now. As an artist, I can grab a paintbrush, I can grab a pencil or a pen, and I can make art with it. it doesn't mean I need to be seeking paintbrushes, pens, and pencils. That's not my purpose. My purpose is to make something beautiful. But how do I do that with the tools available? And money is one of those tools. So yeah, share your experience with money and your relationship with it, and let us know what you think, I guess.
We'll see you next time. Choose love, not fear.
Bye.